everyone. The title of my poster is The Effect of Emotion on Associative Memory for Anger versus Fear. To start, associative memory is a type of memory that involves the ability to learn and remember the relationships between two or more items. Existing literature has shown that negative emotion affects memory. However, it strengthens specific item memory while it weakens associative memory. Past research has typically focused on negative emotion in general, which is usually represented by just anger, whereas I have looked at and compared both anger and fear. It may be that the presence of negative emotion in general inhibits associative memory, which would result in anger and fear causing similar associative memory effects, or it may be that the effects of negative emotion are reliant upon specific types, such that anger and fear would cause varying associative memory effects. Thus, I came up with two potential hypotheses. My first hypothesis is that associative memory is impaired by the presence of negative emotion in general. One explanation for this is that emotional stimuli capture a person's attention, which causes the surrounding environment to be ignored. In this case, both angry and fearful stimuli would elicit a deficit in the formation of associative memory. However, another explanation is that a person's attention is oriented towards threats in the environment, which may lead to differences in associative memory formation based on the type of emotional content depicted. An angry stimulus might lead people to forget the surroundings because the threat is the angry stimulus itself, but if the stimulus is instead fearful, people may direct their attention from the fearful stimulus towards the items in the surrounding environment to locate the source of the threat. This could lead to successful associative memory formation. To test these hypotheses, I conducted a three-part experiment. The experiment began with a study phase, which involved subjects studying multiple triads consisting of one face at the top of the screen with two objects underneath called triads. Each face had either a neutral, angry, or fearful expression, and subjects studied each triad for 6 seconds, during which time they came up with stories connecting the items to help them better remember their relationships in the future and rank the quality of those stories using the rankings provided across the bottom of the screen. Subjects then completed the recognition phase of the experiment, which consisted of, for each round, one object appearing in the middle of the screen, and subjects determining if the object was one that they had seen before in the previous phase or if they had not been shown it. Finally, subjects were tested on their abilities to form associative memories between the faces and objects they studied in the first phase. 7 images were present on the screen, the image on top acting as the cue image and the 6 images across the bottom acting as answer choices. Subjects indicated which one of the 6 images was originally paired with the cue image by typing the number assigned to their chosen answer choice. Each triad was tested in every possible cue answer choice combination, meaning that every triad was tested 6 different ways across 3 different test formats. The format was either face cue, object answer choices, object cue, face answer choices, or object cue, object answer choices. In the study phase, our dependent measure of interest was the ratings of story quality. Ratings were numerically higher for fearful triads than for angry or neutral triads, meaning that subjects' self-presumed abilities to form associative memories were highest for the fearful triads. However, differences among conditions did not reach significance. For our main effect graph, we calculated the mean proportion correct to assess associative test performance for each emotion condition. We found a significant effect of emotion, as subjects were better at remembering neutral triads compared to both angry and fearful triads. And although the accuracy for fearful triads was numerically higher than for angry triads, this difference was not significant. We then used our data from the last graph and separated it further by test type. So now, along with our significant effect of emotion, results now showed a significant overall effect of test type. Subjects performed better for the object cue, object answer choice trials than the face cue, object answer choice, and the object cue, face answer choice trials. Subjects also had significantly greater accuracy when tested with the object cue face answer choice format than the face cue object answer choice format. Essentially, subjects' performance was inhibited in the presence of a face and was worst when the cue item was a face. However, the interaction between test type and emotion condition was not significant, aka subjects' associative memories were similarly inhibited by negative emotion across all test types. For the recognition phase, we found that there is no significant effect of emotion, meaning that subjects performed comparably across all emotion conditions. The purpose of this experiment was to study 2 different types of negative emotion and their potential differing effects on associative memory. And hypothesis 1 is what is supported by the results of this experiment, as subjects' associative memories were comparably inhibited for both the angry and fearful triads, suggesting that negative emotion in general, aka regardless of specific type, causes this associative memory impairment. Our results also indicate that source of threat, whether it be the stimuli themselves if angry or the surrounding environment if fearful, does not influence the strength of associative memories. In sum, anger and fear were equal for all intents and purposes in their associative memory effects. With this contribution, we further support the idea that negative emotion inhibits associative memory formation and are brought closer to understanding how this effect is modulated. Thank you for listening.